over your life and realize that it's only by the grace of God that you've made it this far. You've made it this far from drug and alcohol addiction, car wrecks and sickness, and many other near-death experiences. Some of you were even drowning in the sixth sea of sin, and you now realize that if it had not been for the grace of God, the drugs would have knocked you out, the wreck would have killed you, the cancer would have overtaken your body. But today you can stand and testify that you're still here, you're still standing, and you're going to make it. I realized this morning that I may be sick, but I'm still here. I may be broken. I don't have no money, but I'm still here. I may be rejected, but I'm still here. I may be wounded, but I'm still here. I may have to cry sometimes, but I'm still here. And I know that I'm not everything that I should be. I'm still struggling with some bad habits and some hang-ups. I'm still wrestling with some anger and forgiveness issues. But I know that I'm not where I should be by now. But I do know that I'm headed in the right direction. You ought to tell 2 or 3 people that are sitting by you that I almost lost my life, but I survived the storm and I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. And the reason I'm still here is because, number one, of the provision of God. In the text, Paul had to face all kinds of threats and dangers. The detailed plots on his life, the angry crowds, the storms at sea, shipwreck, and it seemed as if the devil was trying to do everything that he could to keep him from reaching Rome. After 2 weeks at sea, they finally escaped the danger, and they're now at this island of Melita. Paul, he survived the storm. He made it through the shipwreck. He survived the snake bites, and then he turned around and healed a number of sick people on the island. And in verse 2, the text says that the barbarian people showered them with hospitality. And to fully get this, you first have to understand the ability of God to provide. You won't ever learn how God can provide for you until you run out of things that you're used to having. When you run out of money, when you run out of strength, when you run out of help, when you reach the end of your rope, that's when God's power is revealed in your life. You see, the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, with the temptation, there is a way out. There's a provision from God. And you see, for every question, there's an answer. For every problem, there is a provision. God doesn't put us through these trials and these refining processes, these storms, just because. He doesn't put us in the storm just for no reason. You have to realize that sometimes God will put you there just to give you a sign. And sometimes somebody today may have problems in your life that may seem to be too much to bear, but I'm here this morning to tell you that there is a sign that God is getting ready to do something in your life. God has something in store for you. Your storms are a sign that God has a provision for your life. But the only way that you're going to understand that God is a provisional God is if you are confronted with the problem and you look around and you don't have any help. All of your resources are gone. You called mom and mom couldn't help you. You called daddy and daddy couldn't help you. You called your granny and your pawpaw and they couldn't help you. You didn't even call pastor and pastor could not help you. All you have is God, and him being the gracious and loving Father that he is, he shows up and he provides for you and he pulls you out. You see, it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how God can provide for us without any help from us. You see, God can provide for you without you even realizing it. And everything that life demands of you, God has a provision in place to meet that need. It's there already, and you really don't even have to go look for it. Matthew 6 and 13, it teaches us that the provision will come look for you. Isaiah 55 and 11 says, so shall my word that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I send it. That means that God sent out a word to bless you. That word cannot return unto God until it finds the one that he sent it after. Amen. What I'm trying to tell you is that there is a blessing that has your name on it. It may not look like it, but I'm trying to tell you that there is a blessing that has your name on it. And the good thing is you don't have to worry about your haters taking your blessing. Because what God has for you, it's for you. You can tell your haters today, I ain't worried about you because what God has for me, it's for me. It's for me. It's for me. I'm not sure if you realize it this morning, but the only reason that you're here today is because of the provision of God. Some of you had no hope that you would come this far through some of the things that you had to go through in 2014 and 2013. But God stepped in right in the nick of time and he provided for you. And in the text, I see that God provided for Paul through the barbarians on the island. Sometimes God will provide for us through the heathens in our lives. God, when God gets ready to bless you, it doesn't matter who it is, how it is, where it is. God will even make your enemies bless you. And sometimes they can bless you better than the saints can. Leave it alone. I'll leave that alone. Leave that alone. But the Bible says that Paul was gathering wood. We see from the text that the fire is already built, so he's not building the fire, but yet he's adding to the fire. And when we get a provision from God, we must add to that provision. We have to take what God gives us and turn it into more. Because if God gives you 2, you've got to turn it into 4. If he gives you 5, turn it into 10. And let me just stop right here and tell you that God is able to provide everything and anything that you need in your life. But sometimes we've got to get off our lazy behinds and take some responsibility. And somebody today might say, I need God to help me find a job. And I realize that God is able to help you find a job, but you can't sit at home eating cereal and watching cartoons all day. You've got to take some responsibility. And you might say, I need the Lord to help me lose weight. I've got these health problems. My clothes getting too tight. And God is able to help you lose weight. But I realize that you can't leave here today and go eat smothered pork chops and rice and gravy and macaroni and cheese and sweet potatoes, Kool-Aid, and to top it off with some German chocolate cake. I'm here to tell you that you've got to take some responsibility. And in the process of gathering, no matter how careful you are going to get something that you don't want. You see, Jesus gathered the 12 disciples, and we all know who was in the wood. It was Jonas was in the wood. Judas was in the wood. Excuse me. Judas was in the wood. No matter how careful you are, when you're gathering, you are going to take in some stuff that you do not want. And let me be real with you guys just for a second and tell you that you have to realize that everybody that's in your circle does not love you. Everybody that shakes your hand, they're not your friend. Everybody that you tell your business to, they ain't really going to pray for you. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. And you have to understand this, because if you don't understand this, you'll become so focused on trying to keep the snake out of the wood that you stop gathering the wood in itself. Most people become fearful and intimidated and build these walls around themselves so that nothing bad gets in. In fact, nothing does get in. You don't want to be hurt anymore. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to do anything. But listen, you got to stop living in fear and start living in faith. Because the text says, Jesus said, let the wheat and the tares grow together until the day of harvest. So keep on gathering the wood, no matter what comes in with the wood. If it's a snake, it's a snake. If it's good days, it's good days. Bad days, good people, bad people. Just keep on living, gathering the wood, because God will take care of your snake-like situations. So I'm still here because, number one, the provision of God. Number two, I'm here because the protection of God. The text. Well, every time you are out gathering wood, like I just told you, there's going to be something in your wood. And in the process of gathering, ever so often you should just expect a snake. Because in the text, because the climate was cold and rainy, I believe that viper, that snake, was under the wood attempting to stay warm. And so what happened is that Paul picked up a snake that looked like a stick. But don't look at Paul crazy this morning, because he's not the only person who's picked up some sticks that look like a snake. Excuse me. But what about that homeboy? What about that homeboy who told you he was your road dog and turned around and tried to kick it with your girl? That's because he was a snake that looked like a stick. What about that woman that you met at Carrington's last night? She had lips, hips, and fingertips, but you didn't know that she was married, she's psycho, she's insecure, she has jealousy issues. That's because she was a snake that looked like a stick. What about that brother? What about that brother that sung so well at the musical? He had a nice custom suit on and nice shoes, and he even had a lapel on his jacket. Yeah. But what you didn't know is that he has 3 baby mamas, and all he wants is your money. That's because he was a snake.